c'est pas si pire. C'est likewise, toujours les pires photos.
OK. OK, alors on va commencer.
Is Sheila going to say anything? Or?
No.
No, you're going to start. Okay.
No. Bon après-midi. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. My name is Dr. Jennifer Russell. I'm the Acting Chief Medical Officer of Health, and I'm pleased to be here today to present you the new water monitoring protocol that has been developed in time for the 2017 season at Parley Beach. Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge with me today Environment and Local Government Minister Serge Roussel,
Good afternoon.
as well
Bonjour.
as Jacques Painter,
Bonjour.
who is the project manager hired to oversee the government's steering committee on water quality in the Shediac Bay. I would also like to take a moment to acknowledge and thank some of the members of the steering committee, many of whom are here today. So in short, what I'd like to cover today is that starting this summer, a new protocol for water monitoring will be implemented at Parley Beach. And the requirements outlined in this new protocol are all in accordance with the guidelines for Canadian recreational water quality, or the guidelines that have been commonly referred to in recent months as the federal guidelines. Donc, à compter de cet été, il y aura un nouveau protocole pour la surveillance de la qualité de l'eau à la plage Parley. Les exigences énoncées dans ce protocole sont conformes aux recommandations au sujet de la qualité des eaux utilisées à des fins récréatives au Canada. So how did we get here? So in terms of the historical context, over the years, there have been concerns and concerted efforts to monitor and reduce the sources of pollution in the water quality of Parley Beach. And in 1998, a working group was struck to discuss water quality concerns in the Shediac Bay and discuss a path forward. As part of this group's work, a water quality index for the Shediac Bay watershed was developed in early August 2001, and the index was officially implemented. The index was adopted in 2001 and has been in place since then, and was designed at the time to better inform the public of water quality on a daily basis. During the summer of 2016, considerable concern was raised by public health staff, the public, and the media about poor water quality at the beach, the water quality index and rating system that has been in place at the beach since 2001, the inconsistent application of the index, a lack of public education and awareness about the system, and a perceived lack of public health oversight. That is why, last fall, the government struck a steering committee with representation from the Departments of Environment, Local Government, Health, Tourism, Heritage and Culture and Agriculture, Aquaculture, and Fisheries. In the immediate term, the steering committee set out to evaluate whether the current water quality testing and rating system was still appropriate and to update it in time for the 2017 beach season. The committee also considered recommendations for enhanced public communication about water quality results, including posting results online and increasing on-site signage. The long-term aim of the committee is to identify both the point and non-point sources of bacteria throughout the Shediac Bay watershed and to address and mitigate those sources where possible. So what is new in this protocol? The new water monitoring protocol, which was recommended by the steering committee and agreed to by government, completely eliminates the Shediac Bay Water Quality Index that had been in place since 2001. And as I previously stated, the requirements outlined in the new protocol are in accordance with the guidelines for Canadian recreational water quality. The important new measures to note are: previously, samples used to be taken once a week from 3 locations. The samples will now be taken from 5 different locations on a daily basis. The Department of Environment and Local Government will now be responsible for the oversight of sample collection and ensuring proper training is provided. No person will collect samples unless they have been trained. Public health staff will now be the ones to receive and interpret the monitoring results. On public health's direction, park staff will post clear advisory signs that indicate whether the water is suitable for swimming or whether a no swimming advisory is in effect. Public health will ensure an auditing function of the signage and advisories. Monitoring results and any public health advisories will be posted online for the public to view. En résumé, c'est un protocole qui est entièrement nouveau et qui respecte les recommandations au sujet de la qualité des eaux utilisées à des fins récréatives au Canada. Le protocole comprend les dispositions suivantes. La fréquence de la surveillance et le nombre de sites de prélèvement augmenteront. Des échantillons seront prélevés quotidiennement à 5 endroits. La formation et les prélèvements des échantillons se feront sous la surveillance du ministère de l'Environnement et des gouvernements locaux. Les résultats des analyses seront envoyés à la santé publique pour qu'elle puisse les interpréter. Des panneaux seront posés afin d'indiquer clairement si l'eau est propre à la baignade, si un avis d'interdiction de baignade est en vigueur ou si la plage est fermée. La santé publique vérifiera les panneaux et les avis, et les résultats des analyses et les avis de la santé publique seront affichés en ligne. So, what is public health's role in the new protocol? I am pleased that under the new protocol, public health has an enhanced and more formal role in the operations and oversight of water quality monitoring. As I previously highlighted, public health officials will be the ones to receive and interpret all monitoring results once they come back from laboratory analysis. Public health staff will then direct park staff to post the advisory signs indicating whether the water is suitable for swimming or whether a no swimming advisory is in effect. And lastly, public health staff will ensure an auditing function of the signage and advisories posted by park staff. So next we have the actual signage. I would now like to present the new advisory signs that we feel will provide clear direction to visitors and bathers about the water conditions on any given day. These signs are the ones suggested in the Guidelines for Canadian Recreational Water Quality. So this one is the clear water open, suitable for swimming sign, and it will be posted when sampling results are within the guideline values. And there are 4 guideline values that will be considered, 2 for enterococci and 2 for E. coli. For enterococci, a geometric mean of most recent 5 samples equal to or less than 35 enterococci per 100 milliliters, and a single sample maximum equal to or less than 70 enterococci per 100 milliliter. For E. coli, a geometric mean of the most recent 5 samples equal to or less than 200 E. coli per 100 milliliters, and 1 single sample maximum equal to or less than 400 E. coli per 100 milliliters. So if those numbers are exceeded, then a warning water not suitable for swimming sign will be posted at that time. And so, as I said, there were 4 guideline values that I just read, and when those are exceeded, this is the no swimming advisory sign that will be posted, and it will say, it'll give a warning that the water is not suitable for swimming. So the new protocol still also includes a full beach closure mechanism and an associated sign should such a situation arise, and this would be under only very, very rare circumstances. So examples of such events that may warrant the issuing of a beach closure include disease outbreak, a chemical or oil spill, fish or wildlife die-off, visible debris, metal or sharp objects, etc. So the signage locations. Once direction from public health staff is received on which advisory sign should be posted, park staff will place the appropriate signage in all locations identified in the map shown on this slide. The locations identified cover all entrance trails to the beach. An advisory sign will also be placed at the park's entrance. As previously mentioned, public health staff will randomly audit the facilities to verify that appropriate signs have been placed. And in closing, I would like to reiterate the fact that all monitoring test results and advisories will be posted online on Public Health's website, allowing residents and visitors to take note of recent bacterial count results and advisories before even making their way to Parley Beach. I will now pass things over to Minister Roussel, who will say a few words, and after it will be our pleasure to answer any questions that you may have on the new water monitoring process. Thank you. Merci.
Thank you, Dr. Russell. Merci beaucoup, Dr. Russell. Donc, bon après-midi à tous et à toutes. Good afternoon, everyone. As the Minister of Environment and also as Acting Minister of Health for the purposes of public health issues in the Parley Beach and Chediac Bay areas, I'm very happy to be here today to announce that our government is once more getting things done by doing exactly what we said we would be doing before the start of the 2017 beach season. Putting in place a better and more robust water quality monitoring protocol for Parley Beach that is in accordance with the the guidelines for Canadian recreational water quality, as well as enhanced communication with the public about the test result is the right thing to do. La protection de la santé publique est une priorité pour notre gouvernement. C'est pourquoi nous agissons afin d'assurer la sécurité des résidentes et des résidents, ainsi que des visiteurs, et c'est ce que ce nouveau protocole va nous aider à faire, en assurant une surveillance accrue à un nombre plus élevé d'endroits, alors que des échantillons sont recueillis quotidiennement à 5 différents endroits. Et la santé publique va recevoir et interpréter les résultats d'analyse de l'eau. L'affichage des panneaux émettant des avis clairs qui indiquent si l'eau est propice à la baignade ou si un avis d'interdiction de baignade est émis ou bien si une fermeture de plage est en vigueur. Et les résultats de l'analyse de l'eau et tout avis relié à la santé publique seront publiés en ligne afin que le public puisse en prendre connaissance. La plage Parley est une attraction touristique majeure pour le Nouveau-Brunswick et l'une des plus belles plages de l'Amérique du Nord, et nous voulons nous assurer qu'elle le demeure. Our government also listened, and that is why a water quality monitoring protocol will also be developed for Murray Beach. The principle behind the protocol for Parley Beach will be adapted to Murray Beach and other provincial parks. The guidelines for Canadian recreational water quality require an assessment to be done for each provincial park in order to develop protocols for each of them. This assessment will be completed for all parks within the provincial park system before the 2017 summer season. Cela dit, il faut savoir que la Direction de la protection de la santé publique effectue de la surveillance à certaines plages publiques qui ont été identifiées par le Bureau de la protection de la santé des régions comme étant des destinations récréatives populaires et le gouvernement a l'intention de réviser ce processus en 2017 pour déterminer si un programme formel est nécessaire. Today's announcement is a great milestone, but the work on this file is ongoing to fulfill our commitment to identify the sources of bacterial contamination in the Shediac Bay watershed in order to find ways to eliminate them or, at the very least, reduce them. What we have learned so far is that there is no silver bullet to fix this problem, and the steering committee, led by our project manager Jacques Painter, continues to investigate short, medium, and long-term solutions to provide government with a clearer picture to address and mitigate the contamination. Il est probable qu'il n'existe pas une seule source de contamination et que cela pourrait être une combinaison de plusieurs sources, mais comme le travail se poursuit, aucune conclusion ne peut être tirée pour l'instant. However, in order to be proactive, government will take some immediate mitigation actions starting this summer that we will be announcing in the near future. With this said, I'd like to thank you all for joining us today, and I will now be available to take some questions from the media. Obviously, I'll be answering more the political question, and I have people here who know more about the technical issues. Je tiens donc à vous remercier de vous être jointe à nous aujourd'hui. Et je suis maintenant disponible pour répondre aux questions des médias, tout comme mes partenaires ici en avant, qui évidemment sont plus à même de répondre aux questions plus techniques. Merci beaucoup.
How many samples per day?
5 samples per day,
5 samples.
7 days a week.
Okay. And the federal guidelines talk about the geometric mean of 35 for a single sample of 70. Is that also?
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay. Is there anything in the federal guidelines that you're not adopting?
If there was anything that wasn't clearly identified in the guidelines that they didn't give direction on, we would have filled in those gaps with other sources with respect to things like EPA or Ontario guidelines. So it's only if the guidelines were silent on a certain topic or a certain situation, then we would fill in those gaps with something from EPA or from Ontario guidance.
If I may, I invite you to look at the protocol itself. So you'll see, for example, that we are following the guidelines, but when the guidelines are silent, you will see it is indicated exactly the sources where we took the information.
So the mean of 35 or the single 70 lead to the red sign?
Yes.
And exceedance.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but public health used to do this testing, and now it's going back to doing it. There was a period where it wasn't. Is that right? Can you
Yes, and that.
give me the history of that, and why was it changed in the first place?
My understanding is that at the time when when inspections were centralized, some of the inspection functions were transferred to public safety in that context. And so now with the new guidelines and protocols that we're following, public health will be involved.
Okay, so why did that happen? Why was that done? Why did it go from public health to another organization and now back to public health? Can you explain that?
I thought I just did, sorry. So a couple of years ago, I think perhaps in 2014, there was a centralization of all inspection services in the provincial government. Some of those things included the water sampling, so that's why
Why was that done?
that was a government decision at the time that I'm aware of.
Efficiency and budget.
And that-
Efficiency, thank you. Yeah.
For efficiency's sake?
Yeah, efficiency and budget.
Well, I couldn't.
Sorry, if you know about that, can you elaborate
Yeah.
on exactly what the considerations were? No, you seem to know, so
Well,
tell us more.
Like, you know,
Well, historically, the responsibility for water quality monitoring falls with the owner of the facility. So in this case would be Department of Tourism. So as Dr. Russell explained, in 2014, there was a decision made by government to consolidate all inspection and monitoring services with the Department of Public Safety, DPS. We have felt that in terms of analyzing the peculiarities of Parley Beach and the circumstances of the situation, that it would be best if the water quality, the beach water monitoring protocol was overseen by Department of Health, since it is a matter of public health and safety, and that the actual monitoring and sampling process is undertaken by Department of Environment and Local Government. It just makes sense.
Avez-vous calculé, si on prend la situation de l'été dernier, combien de jours on aurait eu une plage ouverte, combien de jours on aurait eu une eau impropre à la baignade, et si certains jours on aurait eu une plage fermée complètement, c'est-à-dire quel genre de résultat on aurait eu l'été dernier avec un nouveau système?
est-ce que ces données-là ont été faites par quelqu'un? Je ne sais pas.
Je pense que c'est une question pour Kevin Gould, du ministère de la Santé. Kevin, the question is, given this new protocol, what do we think the number of days of beach advisory signs being posted would be?
I think,
C'est plus
I,
ou moins ça.
I think that based on the information that we had, the type of testing that was done, we wouldn't have really been able to have a geometric mean to accurately say, like what you're asking is whether or not, based on the results from last summer, if we would have had any no swimming advisories. I think it's entirely possible, but can we say that for sure? No, because the geometric mean wasn't calculated with the number of tests that we would have needed.
Yep.
So I would say most likely yes, but I can't say that for sure because we didn't test the same way that we're going to be testing moving forward.
That's right.
There's something in the guidelines about lifeguards, that there be no lifeguards if the beach is recommended for no swimming, or is that, will there be lifeguards on duty if the beach is recommended for no swimming? Or would there be no
Yep.
lifeguards to indicate there should be no swimming?
My
Yes.
understanding is there will be lifeguards.
Yep.
Oui.
There will be lifeguards
Oui.
to tell people there should be no swimming?
Il va y avoir. Les affiches vont être là, donc aux 8 endroits, et à l'entrée également, ça va être indiqué si cette journée-là, c'est une journée qui est bonne pour la baignade, donc non autorisée, ou encore la plage est fermée dans de rares cas, comme on l'expliquait tout à l'heure.
Right, but if there's a lifeguard
Sorry.
on duty when the beach is recommended for no swimming, what will the lifeguard tell people if they see them swimming? Anyone?
Tourism?
The lifeguard will intervene and make sure that the people
People
that are
understand.
on the beach understand the warning and they're making decisions.
There was a mention of the auditing process that'll be done by public health. So are there consequences in regard to that if the beach signs aren't put up when they're supposed to be?
I'm assuming they'll just make sure that the appropriate signs are put up when they're supposed to be, and whatever kind of intervention needs to happen in terms of making sure that it does not happen again or whatever, I think that would be those would be ongoing discussions that would have at that time.
Est-ce que ce serait possible peut-être de nous résumer ça en français du début à la fin, c'est-à-dire à partir du moment où on détecte qu'il y a un niveau de dépassent les normes, qu'est-ce qui va se passer à partir de ce moment-là? Qui va faire quoi jusqu'aux baigneurs?
Donc, lorsqu'il y a I'll do it. Lorsque donc on découvre que l'analyse géométrique fait en sorte qu'on dépasse la norme, par exemple, de 35 entre coques ou encore le 70 pour un seul cas. Et donc là, à partir de ce moment-là, donc, il y a une décision qui est prise par la santé que la plage va recevoir l'attention eau impropre à la baignade. Et à partir de ce moment-là, donc, les affiches sont indiquées à 8 endroits à la plage même et également à l'entrée. Je vous signale que selon les indications des recommandations ici, qui suivent les lignes directrices canadiennes, lorsque on indique l'eau impropre à la baignade, les gens peuvent quand même se baigner. C'est une décision qu'ils prennent. OK? Donc, la plage n'est pas fermée à ce moment-là. Il y a une autre étape. OK? Donc, selon les lignes ici, donc quand c'est indiqué eau impropre à la baignade, les gens ont la liberté de choisir à leur risque d'y aller.
Est-ce que, je comprends que vous n'êtes pas le ministre du Tourisme, mais est-ce que vous pensez qu'il peut y avoir des impacts sur les touristes qui viennent à la plage?
Je-
S'ils passent 2-3 jours et on voit la pancarte rouge pendant 2-3 jours, ils vont peut-être aller à l'île du Prince-Édouard?
Je répondrais que c'est important d'avoir, vous savez, ces lignes directrices-là sont généralement utilisées à travers le pays. Et donc, je pense que ce qui est important, c'est que oui, la plage Parley, c'est un bijou pour notre tourisme et c'est important d'aviser les gens. Et donc, c'est une question de sécurité. Et je pense que ça va de soi qu'on suive le protocole qui est mis en place. Donc, c'est une question d'abord et avant tout de sécurité.
J'ai une question sur un autre sujet, si ça ne vous dérange pas. Sur les évaluations foncières. J'aimerais savoir, ce qu'on nous disait au bureau du premier ministre aujourd'hui, c'est que la décision de passer à une année, de faire ça en une année et non en 2-3 années, a été prise par la direction de la SNB. C'est bien ça?
Regardez, je pense que tout le monde a des questions très, très légitimes dans ce domaine-là. Mais je pense qu'arrivé à ce point-ci, il y a un commissaire qui a été nommé pour enquêter sur l'ensemble des faits, sur les procédures, sur les politiques en cause. Et je pense qu'on va laisser le commissaire Robertson faire son travail. Et après, on aura l'ensemble des faits qui sont pertinents. Je pense qu'on est rendu à l'étape où il faut vraiment laisser le commissaire faire son travail.
C'est une communication du bureau du premier ministre.
Oui, mais je vous dis juste que je pense que c'est le temps de laisser le commissaire faire son travail. Merci.
What do you think this whole controversy did to public trust in Parley Beach?
I think that what is important is we want to make sure that that the public will be able to trust what is being now advertised. I think that people know that we are doing what has to be done. You know, that we are concerned. We know this is a real gem. This is important for tourism, but at the same time, I think people want and that's the way it should be. Want to have like the good warning, and then they can make an informed decision. So I think that when they will see that we're serious with this, I think it's important and it will be good.
Pouvez-vous répéter ou réexpliquer ce qui se passe ou ce qui pourrait se passer avec les autres plages? Vous avez mentionné Murray Beach, mais aussi d'autres plages en général, parce que c'est pas toutes les plages qui font l'objet d'une surveillance comme ça.
Donc, selon les lignes directrices, lorsqu'on fait partie du réseau des parcs provinciaux, donc on doit faire une enquête. Vous savez, le niveau d'utilisation des différents parcs à des fins récréatives n'est pas le même. Donc, d'ici le début de la saison cette année, on veut s'assurer qu'effectivement, il y ait un protocole de suivi, mais qui corresponde aux réalités de chacune des plages, comme l'exige les recommandations canadiennes en matière de qualité des eaux récréatives. Et je précisais d'ailleurs que le modèle ici, entre autres, va être utilisé avec les adaptations nécessaires selon les recommandations à Parley Beach, par exemple. À Murray Beach, pardon.
Parce qu'il y a des plages au Nouveau-Brunswick dont on fait la promotion, mais qui ne sont pas surveillées du tout au niveau de la qualité d'eau.
Donc, ma réponse est à plusieurs volets. Là. Donc, on veut s'assurer pour les parcs provinciaux qu'on va suivre un protocole. Et après, on va faire une évaluation de qu'est-ce qui devrait être fait de façon générale durant l'année. et donc les autres, ce que j'ai appelé les autres plages publiques. OK? Donc là, il y a déjà un programme qui existe au niveau du ministère de la Santé. Et, peut-être Dr. Russell serait plus apte à expliquer, mais compte tenu de l'achalandage, compte tenu des résultats passés, on fait quand même une évaluation de la qualité de l'eau. Et si ma mémoire est fidèle, c'est 45 ou 46 plages l'an dernier qui a été surveillée à cet égard. J'ai déjà vu la liste, j'ai déjà eu la liste sous mes yeux.
Can you just repeat in English about what you anticipate the impact will be on tourism at the beach?
I'm saying that I'm confident that people are able to see that we are taking action, that we want to make sure that they are well informed, and we said that we will be improving the rating for the water, and we will be improving the communication part of it, and that's what exactly we're doing. And then people, I feel that people will be confident that they have the good information to make their own decision, their informed decision. And I added that, we want to make sure that the place is safety, and it's a fantastic place, and I think people will know exactly what's going on, and I think they'll continue to go.
You mentioned that short-term measures would be announced soon about having a fix for some of the contamination there. Can you speak a little bit to the longer-term solutions that will be put in place that might be difficult?
I think that for today, what we want mostly to talk about, like I didn't receive any final report in that regard. So what is important today, we're announcing the part of the communication and the part of the new protocol. And in the very near future, we'll be more than happy to share with you what we are intending to take as action for the short-term and longer-term decisions.
Is that, when you say near future, is that before the beach season or after?
Obviously, if we want to announce some short-term decision, so it will be in the near future. The season is not that far.
So before?
Yes, the short-term decision will be, and then mid-term and longer-term decisions, yes. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much.